Hold up. Wait a minute.
This is Carla Renata, aka the Curvy Critic, and I shoot straight from the hip.
Yeah, you know I'm always shooting straight from the hip.
Let's take a trip around the curve. I enjoyed your performance in Cast, and I was noticing that a lot of your roles are not don't necessarily give you the opportunity to be in a romantic relationship, and I enjoyed that for you. How were you feeling about that? Not being someplace where you were getting your nose broken 14 times.
Look, being in a romantic situation, it's all just depending on who you get to be romantic with. And there's nobody I'd rather be romantic with on screen than Ingenue. I'm just so blown away by this, by this woman. She's one of my favorite actors of all time. I think she's completely singular. I don't think anybody can do what she does. I loved the tenor of this relationship. I think that, at its core, Brett was just so unbelievably in awe of Isabel. I think about, how I am with my wife, and that really makes sense to me. I think that's a big part of it, to be of service, to be there to lift your partner up, and also to tell them the hard truths and keep them accountable. And I think that's there too in this. I love building this with Ingenue. Like I said, I'm just so in awe of her. I'm so in awe of Isabel, and I'm so in awe of Ava and what she accomplished here. So, to be there really to serve was something that it just felt really natural for me on this. And I'm proud that I got to be a part of it in the capacity that I did.
I love seeing you on screen, and it was nice to see you and Ingenue be reunited from King Richard. I don't think you guys had any direct scenes with each other, but I love seeing y'all in the same movie together. How did Cast come into your orbit, which is now Origin?
I had read the book and I was a huge fan of it. I think one of the biggest accomplishments that any piece of art can have is when it identifies something, some emotion, some feeling, some philosophy, some thought that you feel like you've had, but you would never be able to articulate it yourself. And when I read that book, I just felt, wow, that's exactly how I feel. I've just never thought about it this way. I've never been able to articulate it. And and then taking a book that's so dense and rich and nuanced, and then to be able to let that philosophy, that sociological philosophy, be a film. I didn't know how Ava was going to do that. It seemed impossible to me, but she did. And then how would you take a performance that is so cerebral and make it so full of heart and emotion, and be able to bring the audience in to not only see the philosophy, but to go on the journey of discovery with you and do it in a way that's entertaining and human. And that's what Ingenue did. So again, I'm in awe of these women, and I'm glad that I got to support them.
I'm glad you got to support her too, and I'm glad I get a chance to support you. I'm just going to give a shout out to your podcast, Real Ones, so that people know that you have one. Can you tell people where to find it real quick before we wrap up?
Real Ones, wherever you find podcasts, wherever you want to find, we're there.
Cool. Thank you so much, Jon. I appreciate you, and your role and your acting is stellar as always. Thank you so very much.
Thank you, Carla. You take care. All right.